node.
Decision node. And then, and based on your decision, you get your different expected values. Okay, that's cool.
That's right.
Yeah. And
So now,
so the decision node feeds into the probability node. Okay.
so all we did, Scott,
Yeah.
when we went from to the next question, all we did was to switch the nodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
We switched all the decision nodes. We flopped them. That's all we did.
Yeah.
We didn't change the labels, but we could.
Yeah. Well, I would even almost, yeah, that'll work. That'll work.
Right.
So the next step that we did, after we did our decision node and our probability node, then we switch it and we do probability node to a decision node. And that is perfect information. So an interesting thing to think about is, so in one perspective, you're making a decision, and then you're hoping to make some money.
Yeah.
In this position, you're saying, based on what my highest probabilities are, you make a decision. You make a decision in order to.
You know the probabilities.
Yeah.
You know that you're gonna go with A2.
Mm-hmm. So you go from you basically you make a decision and then you let probability determine what you make,
You're
how
gonna
much
go
money
with
you make,
A2,
as opposed to if you take the probability
Right.
of each
He
one.
tells you that there's a 50%. This has the higher percentage.
Mhm.
So you go with that one, and then I'm guessing that this
Yeah.
is a one.
So you let
It's
so you start with the decision in the first case. You start with the decision of choosing one of the types of music.
Yep.
And then you let the probability of those people coming to your radio station determine how much money you make. Now, when you flip-flop it, you're saying based on how much money I can make at each, or what the probability of making money is at each one of these nodes, then you make a decision that determines the best type of way of attracting
Right. I got it.
new people to your radio station.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's that. So as the average monthly revenue associated with rock format and an A1 audience varies between 85 and 142. So that's your max and min.
There's a highest chance of having. He's gonna want to pick
Highest-
country.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
This dude, the perfect information guy, said that there's the best chance you're gonna have listener group A2.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 50%. There's the highest probability of getting listener type A2. So, assuming that you're going to, the best chance of getting A2, which one would you pick? And you would pick country. It's just, I was trying to go through it in my head.
Yeah. And then you
Yeah.
pick country.
You would pick country
And then
because,
here-
and then if you're not, you're betting you're going to get. He's told you his perfect information says you have there's a best chance it's going to be
50% is going to be country. Yeah.
and there's less. So, there's a 50% chance you're going to get it's going to be listener group A2.
Mm-hmm.
In that scenario, you're going to want to pick country because it's A2 is the country group.
Now, just as a little parallel, if this was still 30,
Yeah.
but
It is-
but you made a lot. If A1, which
is
was the
30,
rock
right?
audience,
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying if A1 was your most, it was stayed at 30.
Yeah.
But the amount of money that you made off of them
Was
was
high.
like way
higher.
more.
Way more
You'd
than
have to
you
be
could-
like more than 150.
Right.
Like you'd have to make more than 150 grand off these people a month.
Yeah.
So
I wonder what
that's
the calculation.
we could do it, but
We could do
it's
it, but
immaterial.
I
Don't
think-
get sidetracked.
Exactly. I think the correct answer is you should bet on A2.
Yes.
He should.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This perfect information guy has told him this, so he's gonna want to. He would bet on A2, and then because of that, he would pick country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that I was just trying to get down the logic, but
Got it.
sorry for the backtrack there.
So
I was just
okay.
looking at it. And
So what he's talking about in this next question, which is 1D. So what he says down here, as the average monthly revenue associated with the rock format and an A1 audience varies between 85 and 142.5, what happens to the maximum expected revenue? So he's basically saying that if you do sensitivity on A1 audience with the rock format, so you choose A1 audience and you choose rock format, and so basically it's saying that 110 is like your average. So look at this. Check this out. It's going to be like 110 10, and then your low value is 85, and your high value is 142.5.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like what your distribution will look like. So you'll have like, woo, like this.
Yeah.
So he's saying as your revenues vary within this bell curve, or it could be a triangle distribution, or it could be a PERT analysis, whee, whatever you want.
Yeah.
It'll stay and he's basically saying that up to 142.5, which is this line right here, what happens to maximum expected revenue? And it's saying that it'll and it stays at 97 because all of these values are still a suboptimal choice compared to choosing country and the targeting country. So you're basically going after these values right here up until this point, in which case it turns over and rock becomes more profitable. And in which case you turn into a rock station instead of a country station. Okay.
Let me think about this. Yeah.
So this is still profitable to choose country, and this over here will be more profitable. But you have to make sure that you're earning at least 140 or greater with a rock audience, because that's at the only point where you'll switch to try to go after. So that actually answers the next part of the question. So it stays at 97, stays at 97 because country is safer, meaning you have a higher EV by still choosing country. Okay. Then the follow-up question to that is, what happens to maximum revenue, which is describing this area up here, in which you switch over to rock. So rock becomes more profitable despite despite the lower probability. That's what I was trying to say. Yes. Yeah, your max profitability is still going to be, again, there's that 97 right there. Right. And that's because you're still going to serve the country market.
Yeah.
You're going to serve the country market because you're going to make more consistent revenue that way than by going rock.
These? Okay, so he got three.
He'll probably give these to us.
That's yeah.
But the point is that you need to know what this graph looks like.
What it means.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that one.
Okay, hold on.
That was question 1 from Dallas test. So we'll take a break.
You want to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break. That was good.